Hey there, it's Michele Lamoureux. I'm so excited you're joining me today. I have a special announcement that has been playing in my mind for over 6 months. I am renaming the Good Life with Michele Lamoureux podcast. I want to spend just a few minutes telling you why I'm doing it, share with you the new name, and tell you some ideas of what I have brewing coming up for you all next. So, my first podcast launched in 2008 called The Good Life, and it's a perfectly good name, but it never fully resonated with me because I didn't originate the name. My husband did when he encouraged me to get into podcasting. Fast forward 10 years, I relaunched the podcast and decided to stick with the name. I already had the URL, The Good Life Coach, and I figured, why not? It's a great name and I'll just give it a go. Originally, I really thought it was going to be The Good Life for Moms, which did resonate more because as a mom, I wanted to connect with other moms, but I realized the heart of what I was doing was broader than that. And I didn't want to exclude any women at all. And for over 7 years now, the show has been The Good Life with Michele Lamoureux. At one point, it was The Good Life Coach. I've sort of played with it. And as I was working with a few other people who were launching their podcasts and diving into the why, it became really clear to me that I had come up with a name that really resonated and that I was so excited about. So I have a glass of what looks like champagne, but it is not. So I'm going to be toasting myself. So cheers. Here's to the new name. And for those of you who are watching on YouTube, and I hope you'll follow on YouTube, one little confession, for lack of a better word, I actually had changed the name on YouTube uh, when I decided on the name. I registered the URL and I changed it on YouTube. So some of you already may have caught on to what the new name is. But for those of you who just listen and have been on this journey with me, or if you're on my newsletter, you did find out on Saturday what the new name was because I always announce things to my newsletter first. But the reveal is here. It's her starring role, her starring role. And this cute journal, by the way, I have just like 20 of them. It's like a limited edition that I made, some little bit of merch, and I'm going to be doing a giveaway with these notebooks and for free. And then I also made this mug for myself, which you can see her starring role. And on this side, it says, "Step off the sidelines." And what I mean by that is so many of us have been on the sidelines cheering everyone in our lives along. Our partners, our children, our friends. We're so quick to give to everyone, and it's such a beautiful quality. And I'm not saying to change it. What I'm saying is it's time for you to step into your starring role, though, because life is precious and it's long or short, however you think of it. But really, we're here for this finite amount of time. And the invitation with the show has always been to reconnect what matters to you and to pursue that, to not look back at your life at 85 and think, oh my goodness, I lived for everyone else. And I didn't do the thing. I didn't take the trip. I didn't write the book. I didn't try to launch the business. I didn't, uh, who knows, maybe ask the person out that you liked, the things you didn't say yes to for yourself. So, whatever that might be, painting, drawing again, going back to school, changing professions, whatever has been whispering in your soul. So, there will still be solo casts and there will still be interviews, but the solo casts are really going to be aimed around meaning and purpose and things that empower you around pursuing what matters to you. I am going to be including in my newsletter an invitation to connect real time over Zoom and eventually in person. I see coming to do live events somehow in person around this concept. These are just ideas and I'm going to let them unfold. There's no, what's the word? There's no like holding on too tight or being too precious about it. It's just going with the feeling of what feels right and just trying things. Like I like to say, try stuff on. If you don't know if you want to do something, try it on, talk to people, do informational interviews, try something yourself, see how it feels, because our hearts know the truth. And for those of you who are not on my newsletter list, I'm going to read just a couple of things that I did share on in the newsletter. Basically, that the thing that I've always been able to see is what makes somebody special. And I want to use that ability to invite women who are looking for community and accountability and want to build their sense of self-worth, because I think you need all three of those things to really pursue and be successful on your terms at whatever it is that you want to bring into your life. Community is key. You see it all the time, whether somebody's got a mentor or somebody who believed in them, or a group of other women or men or masterminds, or what do they have? They've got community, people who are championing them. And that builds a sense of accountability. And when you know that other people are doing the thing and pursuing the thing, it also makes you feel more motivated and more inspired to take that action. And I think the self-worth part comes from the first two. So I'm going to be focused on the first two, knowing it will, in fact, help develop your sense of self-worth and self-belief. And this isn't to say you don't have it, but with a focus on yourself, directing that um, self belief and then taking yourself off the sidelines onto center stage into whatever it is that you want to pursue. And I do believe that there is a collective pain right now with all of the things we're seeing happening in the world and in the United States, and that we are connected. And I do believe that bringing out our light in its fullest, most vibrant, powerful self is what allows us to bring the love that we are out into the world. And that creates a ripple effect of more love in the world. And the world does need so much more love and compassion and our, for me, I'm going to say God given gifts, or whatever those inner knowings that you can just feel. You see somebody do something and you tear up, and those tears are like, you should be doing that. You feel it. Or you see someone, I don't know, write the book and you're like, oh, I've always dreamt of that. And you have that little twinge inside, like around your heart, stirring around your heart, reminding you of what your gifts are and what you what lights you up. So it's an invitation to step into your most authentic self. And in our noisy world full of distraction, I think it's harder to hear our inner voice, which is why I want to do these free to start Zoom gatherings and then in-person gatherings. And for some reason, the word gathering keeps coming to mind for me versus like meetup or event. I don't know. I like the idea of a gathering, just getting people together who want to be inspired and inspire one another. So, with her starring role, that is what we are going to focus on. But there are other ways that women have been sidelined. I don't need to tell you this because we are aware, but I am going to remind you, women earn 83 cents for every dollar a man makes. We also, you may have heard or not, but companies with more women on boards or in senior management generate stronger returns and financial outcomes compared with less diverse peers in companies. That was in Bloomberg. And so we know that women create magic wherever they go, and yet we're not being paid the same. That is one way we've been sidelined. And if we come together in community and start having these conversations and saying, you know what, yeah, we're not going to keep doing this, and this isn't what we want to pass along to not just our daughters, but our sons. It's for all of our children. So that we're really just empowering our children to be thinking about their futures differently and raising our boys to understand the value that women bring. I also mentioned in the newsletter how there's between 5.6 to 5.8% of the CEOs in the Fortune Global 500 are women. That is not a high percentage, and women remain underrepresented at senior levels. Only 29% of the C-suite roles are held by women. I can put these links in the show notes because it does reference the articles and the sources. And also, I noted how we take on more household and caretaking responsibilities, even when women earn the same or more than their male counterparts. And this doesn't even include the mental load that we carry. So, the heart of the podcast has always been to invite women to design a life on her terms, a life that includes her dreams and her desires, and isn't solely about serving everyone, and where she gets validated and appreciated for sacrifice. There's a better way forward, and that's what I'm most interested in. And I've been using this phrase, step off the sidelines into her starring role, for years now in my intro. And then when I cut the intro out, I still felt connected to that idea. And it just feels right. Her starring role. And to be clear, the her is you, it's me, it's any woman who wants more from life and knows she's made for more, but just needs some support around making that a reality for herself. So I'm so happy that you are a part of it. When the name changes, I don't have the new artwork yet. And the website will be done soon. My computer screen, it got broken. I don't know how, 2 days before I was supposed to work with my web designer, but that's how life goes. And so you keep going forward. So the web relaunch will be hopefully at the end of the month, assuming no tech issues. And I'll have the cover art and everything. But the best way to stay connected is to look at the podcast player that you're listening to this episode from and just hit follow or subscribe, whatever it says there. And then this way, when the name changes, you'll see the new name populate. You won't have to search her starring role. And The Good Life with Michele Lamoureux will no longer be there when you search it. So that's why it's important to hit follow or subscribe to my newsletter. There'll be a link for that in the show notes, along with a way to follow the podcast on your podcast players or even on YouTube. And I'd love to have you come watch the show on YouTube. I also have ideas of doing things maybe more often on YouTube, things that I'm doing on YouTube that I'm not doing on the podcast platform. A lot of ideas. I'll be keeping you informed. So follow the show, subscribe to the newsletter, and invite a woman to come along on this journey, because truly we are better together, and let's do this together. Cheers, you beautiful stars. We are all light. In the newsletter, I mentioned how I referenced an article about how everything here, including us, are made from stardust. And I think the invitation is to let that light shine as bright as possible. We've dimmed it for too long, and it's time to just really step into who we are. And this show is for women of any age. If this resonates with you, you are welcome. I want you to be a part of this. It's no longer narrowed down to midlife. And in fact, when I started, it wasn't either. And I'm coming back to my roots, but with a renewed mission and vision and excitement over what's coming next. So cheers, beautiful stars. And I will be back with you next Wednesday with new interviews, and I will be keeping you in the loop about the launch. I appreciate you.